Dre. Hi. Because he's making a video. Well, about what Jesus did. Everything. So, thinking about my life, there are so many things that have recently surfaced that I didn't even know were there. Beginning with when I was probably 5 or 6, I recently remembered being the victim of sexual abuse. I was flashed when I was at the mall, and I was so young it didn't even register. And then from there was just an insecurity around men, and I didn't know how to handle it. I didn't talk to my parents about it. I had no idea that it was even there. I just noticed that I didn't really want to have a close relationship with my dad. I felt like with my dad I had to put up kind of a wall, and then as I grew into a teenager, then I started acting out sexually. I just kind of really looking for someone who would be with me and who I thought wanted to love me. And I ended up getting married to my college sweetheart. I got pregnant before I got married. There was a lot of shame, condemnation with that, and I did get married mostly because I was pregnant. I just have been on this journey for the last, I would say, 10 years or so of trying to understand what it is that I was created for. And I now understand and realize I was created with a value, with a purpose, that all of the things that happened to me, the pain, the struggle, that's not who I am, and that the pain produces purpose. Okay, I got remarried. I was completely restored. I had asked for a new beginning, and my wedding anniversary is January 1st, which is to me just the most beautiful picture of how God restores us when we ask Him to. And when we got married, my husband originally said that he was feeling called into children's ministry. But a few years later, he came back after he was finishing his undergrad and said, no, I feel like it's anti-trafficking. And that to me had nothing on my radar. It made no sense. So I said, yeah, I don't think so. And then the more we learned about the issue, the more we were really just asking God for confirmation. I understood that that was exactly where we were supposed to be. And from that moment, really understanding my own value, understanding that the things that had happened to me were not for nothing, that they were for someone else, and that when I would open up vulnerably and tell others kind of the things that had happened to me, the places that I had gone in my life, the things that I chose to do that were done to me, whatever the case is, I realized there was a freedom that other people could engage with. And then people just started telling me all sorts of, honestly, just pretty crazy things. So now, being in the anti-trafficking movement for the last 3 years, I can honestly say that what other people need, and I don't know what they need, but when I just open my mouth and say what needs to be said in a moment of courage, in a moment of vulnerability, in a moment of another person's pain, and I let them know that I can relate to that, there's been so much freedom that comes in the job that I do. So I work in oil and gas, and I was approached by someone who asked if our company would be open to launching an oil and gas trafficking advocacy group. And so we just started meeting bi-monthly with different people from our industry. And through that, we have seen so much breakthrough, so many companies recognize and see that it makes sense as a business to address human trafficking. It brings a level of community awareness, it brings a level of safety, it's addressing things that we in oil and gas stand for, but then expressing it through our actions. And it has been really freeing to see that and get to engage with different people in the group and hear their story, see how my story fits in, and really understand that. So it's been quite a journey, and I look forward to what the future holds.